Howdy everyone, I'm Endymion for the Dork-at-Arms, etc. I'm Endymion for the Dork-at-Arms, etc. And I got a review. A longsword review. This is my Sigi longsword. It is a Sigi standard. This hilt, and that signature flared tip, if I can get that into view. It's, first of all, a fairly good measurement for my own height, fairly well fitted to my own body, as it happens. I've been told that maybe something a little shorter would also be pretty good. I like this as it is. All in all, very good weight. I really like the hilt shape. That hilt or shield there does great work to protect the hands and adjust weight distribution. I've felt a couple Sigis that don't have the hilt. They feel just as nimble, really, and they feel just as flexible, and that flex is strong. It doesn't take very much to actually get that to flex. And of course, again, it's got that beautiful flared tip. That being said, I also really like the length of the handle. I love the pear pommel shape. I've used a rapier a couple times in drilling and sparring, and that sort of faceted pommel has dug into my wrist a lot of the times, even when I choke up a little bit more up the pommel, or up the hilt, up from the pommel. And they're not usually as flexible, but you can order a rapier that is more flexible than the default setting. I really like my Sigi, but some things I've noticed in comparing it to both how other people handle Sigis and Ensifers, and how I have very, very rarely been able to use Ensifers, borrowing them from colleagues. This Sigi makes me want to cut around and disengage or change under the Dirksvexel, detach and go underneath in a sort of spiral action, sort of clash in the bind, and then drop down underneath the hilt, project forward. The Italian students among you, especially rapierists, will know that as cavazione. This makes me want to cut around, and it makes me want to be nimble in the bind, or nimble and leave the bind rather than stay to the bind. This feels like it doesn't have a lot of force or power in the bind in my hand, but that's also because I am, as you can see, a wiggly little guy. I'm smaller. I'm, average height, but very thin compared to a lot of my colleagues in HEMA. And I will say, again, I really love the amount of flex. I love the thrust on this because, again, it encourages people like me who started on rapier and foil to really play that thrust game and to really maintain measure from, what does Marozzo call this? Guardia Fianchi, I think? Just on the other side. And then Flug, if we are German, Gerade Versetzen, or long point, depending on which one you're doing. And it also, I think, very importantly, is good for drills. Like, I can get 1 or 2 inches of bend with this without hurting my sparring partner, without hurting my drill instructor, or whoever I'm paired with in the drill. And I think that is really important, especially since I'm still a beginner. That being said, I do think that this was a good purchase for me to start out with. This was, I think, one of the best purchases that I've made in terms of fencing, because, as you can see, this has already taken a few hits. I haven't gotten a bend in my blade yet, but I have made some mistakes with parrying with my hands, just trying to shove outward to the incoming blade, just sort of the monkey brain, and it's fucking up the wrap. And I've been told that the cord wrap doesn't last very long, but it's lasted me a good 5-6 months so far. I really like it. If you search back in the backlog of my channel, you might find the thing of me unboxing this. But this has lasted me a while. I hope that it lasts me even longer. I know quite a few people whose Sigis do not disappoint them, and they are the go-to for many high-end tournament goers, especially here in America, or at least at my academy, and the people that we associate with. So, Sigi Forge's standard fetter. I really like this. I haven't named it because I'm not that cliche yet. And also, if I'm going to name a sword, it's going to be a custom. But, that being said, I think this is a 10 out of 10, a great purchase for me. My next longsword is probably going to be a custom Ensifer, or it's going to be a sort of Marozzo Spadone, as Lindy Beige, I believe, demonstrated and showed off in a couple videos. I'm probably going to get one of those. But I am Endymion. I have been Endymion for the Dork-at-Arms, etc. This is my Sigi, and I wish you the best. Subscribe for more, and thumbs up if you like this one. Thank you. Have a good one.